Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls Library. My name is Aurelius, your lore master, and today we are reading and discussing The Third Door. The book The Third Door appears in 3 of the Elder Scrolls games, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. This book is a poem and tells the tale of a vengeful axe-wielding woman. Let's get into The Third Door. The Third Door by Ananar Orme. Verse 1. I sing of Ellabeth, the Queen of the Axe, who could fell a full elm with 2 hatchet hacks. She could rip apart Valenwood just for her fun. She studied under Alfhendil in Tel Aran. He taught her the jabs, the strokes, and the stance, to make an axe swing into an elegant dance. He taught her the barbed axe of the orcs bold, the 6-foot-long axes favored in Winterhold, the hollow-bladed axes of the elves of the west, which whistle when they swing through flesh. With a single-headed axe she could behead 2 men, with a double-headed axe she could fell more than 10. Yet where she lives in legend has most to do with the man who hacked her own heart in 2. Verse 2. Ninelos Olworth the Mighty, who hailed from Blackrose, the only man who could best Ellabeth with axe blows. In a minute she chopped 50 trees, he 53. She felt at once that he was the only man for she. When she professed her love, Ninelos just laughed. He said he loved more his axe handle and shaft. And if they weren't enough to slake all his desire, there was another woman named Lauren Thyre. Fury gripped the queen of the axe, the maid Ellabeth, and her thoughts turned to pondering musings of death. Mephala and Sheogorath gave her a revengeful scheme, and for weeks she worked on it in a state like a dream. In the still of the night she kidnapped her rival, and then told her choices between doom and survival. Verse 3. Lauren Thyre awoke in a house in the moors, in a room lightly furnished except for 3 doors. Ellabeth explained that behind one of the doors the lass would find Ellabeth's and her love, the great Ninelas. Behind the second lived a ravenous demon, and behind the third an exit to freedom. She must choose a door, and to aid her decision, if she pondered too long, the axed make a division. Lauren Thyre wept, and Ellabeth felt contrite, and opened the door to her immediate right. It led to the moors, and as she slipped through the gloom, she advised Lauren Thyre to likewise abandon the room. Lauren Thyre ignored her and did not feel her will bend. Ninelas was largely behind the first door she opened. Verse 4. Ellabeth had lied. There was no demon of lore. The top third of Ninelas was behind the third door. Ah, what a wonderful little story. Somewhat gruesome story, but still. There isn't much to talk about with this one, nothing to really recap or expand upon, except for a few things. First, I would classify this as poetry and an actual story. That is kind of how it comes across to me anyway, and it certainly feels very real with the many references that it has to the rest of the world. It may be made up, but I prefer to assume otherwise. Okay, a few things we can talk about. The man that Ellabeth is said to have learned from, Alfhendil, is actually known as Alfhendil Elfhewer. He was a Nord barbarian and a master axeman, and gathering what we can from his name, I would say he probably gained notoriety for slaying elves. The reference to Valenwood is a very specific choice. One might assume that a reference to any wooded area would suffice. However, it is, of course, the writer's intent to build up Ellabeth as much as possible. Valenwood is one of the most densely forested areas on Tamriel, if not the most. so it would be quite the feat to rip it apart just for fun. There could also be some double meaning happening here as well. Because Valenwood is the home to the Bosmer, the Wood Elves, saying that she could rip Valenwood apart for fun may be a slight nod to Alf Hendel, who again most likely got his name for his proficiency at killing elves. Could be a slight nod, could be nothing, but moving on. The only other thing of note to talk about is Black Rose. Ninelos Ulworth the Mighty, goodness that's a mouthful, Ninelos was from Black Rose. Black Rose is one of 8 major cities in the province of Blackmarsh. Black Rose bears the distinction of being originally founded by Lilmathete, or Foxfolk, a fox-like beast race that once lived in the province of Blackmarsh. Nothing really to infer from that, just some fun knowledge for you. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me what you think about this book in the comments below. And may the blessings of the 8 Divines be upon you.